there is no love without wellness is what we're going to talk about. And I'm so excited to be sitting down with both Shelah and Enitan to have conversations not only about wellness, but about joy. So before we get started, because this panel is brought to us with support from the Boris L. Henson Foundation, which is Taraji P. Henson's foundation that is focused on wellness, we're gonna have a joy moment. So what I would love to do just for 2 seconds is the person next to you, whether or not it is your partner, your friend, or someone you don't know, is to share a moment of joy that you have had or will have today. Look, yeah, go ahead, with one another. I love the lead in.
My son just scored a touchdown.
I knew it, I saw the video.
You saw it?
I saw you, I was like, oh.
What are your joy moments? Did you have a moment?
My joy moment is my husband's coming later today. Just like that we get to do things like this together I'm very appreciative of that.
How about you?
My son just scored a touchdown right before we came on stage. He's 7 and I'm missing his game to be here, so.
Oh, congrats.
That's right, okay. It's so good to be mindful of those joyful moments. So before we start this panel, I'm gonna ask each of you to just share a joyful moment. You just shared with me anytime.
Yeah. So there's a cost to the calling, and it's a blessing to be aligned on the assignment. But I came here, and my son's he's 7 years old. He has a Super Bowl. They do that at 7, and I left, and I made the decision to leave him to be here for the purpose of service. And I'm a family man, truly love my family. So it was tugging at me. I had to reconcile with the decision I made. But he just scored a touchdown as I was coming to the stage. So my wife sent me the video. So shout out to Miles. They're going to win. Shout out. That's joy to me. That's
that
joy
is
to
joy.
me.
I love that. I love that.
Yeah.
Shout out to Miles.
Shout out to the touchdown.
A touchdown for the Super Bowl. How about you, Shelah?
I'm joyful because I'm like joyful in the present. Like I'm happy to be here, and my husband is coming later to do a panel, and then I'm doing a panel, and it's like sometimes I think about the fact of what our life looks like, and I'm just it brings me so much joy to be, my best friend.
No, I love that.
So
that's right. We can give it up for those joyful moments.
Yes.
My joyful moment is seeing my sister friend Cody and her husband Tommy produce this and create this space for us to honor and celebrate Black love. And when we think about the history of Black love, it was something that we were not afforded, and it was quite frankly because so many of us were unwell, and then the people external to us didn't want to see us joyful. So to be in this space right now to celebrate Black love in all the forms, sisterhood, brotherhood, marriage, partnership, friendship, self-love is just so powerful. So I'm grateful to be here with all of you. We're gonna talk a little bit about wellness. So that was our joy moment. I want you to carry that joy moment with you throughout the day, right? And remind yourself in those moments when we feel defeated, because there's a lot going on in the world. Enitan and I were just talking about that. But bring us back to those moments of joy. Help us to center ourselves on the power of love, and why it's so important, especially in the times in which we're living. So thank you for that. And thank you for the Boris L. Henson Foundation for their work that they're doing to create joyful moments. We're gonna talk about wellness. I came to wellness after several burnouts. I've had like 25 different careers, legitimately. The first time I burnt out, I was an editor. I was a magazine editor many years ago, and was very fast-paced in my career and excelled very early, and became the beauty director of 17 magazine when I was 25 years old. This was before social media existed. And because we're gonna be real, and y'all family, right? This a family affair. I'll be 46 in January. So
Where?
This was,
Yeah, when?
Where?
How?
Oh,
Why?
46 where? Oh,
Show them what it looks like.
but so this was a long time ago when we weren't having these conversations about wellness. And I burnt out, and then I started my business 18 years ago, started another business 4 years ago, Brown Girl Jane. And the conversation about wellness wasn't hitting. It wasn't happening, so I'm just so grateful we're having it. But it's more than a buzzword. So I want to ask each of you, with the work that you do to build community, Enitan, you talked a little bit about, and we'll go deeper into some of the work that you do. But why is wellness so important? And as you answer the question about why wellness is so important, who are you? Who are you? I don't want to know what you do first, but why is wellness important and who are you? Who is Shelah?
Well, I'm Linda and Robert's daughter. And I am a lover of theater. I love people and a lover of just life and learning. And I'm also, I feel like I'm a conduit. That's kind of what I do is like, or, you know, if like your car breaks down and you just need to jump it real quick, like I feel like that's kind of what I do when I'm in spaces. I'm always like, just a little bit, drop a little, you know, like a little.
You're the spark plug.
I'm a little spice, you know, so I think that's what I am.
Yeah.
A little spice and everything. Nice.
And what does wellness mean to you? And the reason why I like to put those two together is because oftentimes who we are connects to our wellness. So what does wellness mean to you?
Yes, I think I love that you said that wellness relates to your own sense of self, because wellness is a very individual journey. I can't define wellness for anyone in here, because everybody's, you have your own journey, you have your own lessons, you have your own triggers, your own trauma. But for me, I think if I was going to create a broad definition, I would say wellness is not betraying yourself. When you're well, you don't feel like you're betraying, like, dang, this is really going against who I feel like I am. And not like I don't want to do something, like not like, oh, I don't want to work out. Not in that sense, but in a sense where you feel like you're going against your morals or the things that keep you rooted. I would say if I could give any definition, it would be that.
I love that. Thank you so much. That's really powerful. And that's really important also when we think about relationship, right? Because first and foremost, we have to be in relation to, for me, to God. And then secondly, in relationship with myself before we can show up in relationship to anyone else. Enitan, who are you?
I am light.
Yeah.
Yeah. Similar to the spark plug, you know, like being entered into situations that are ordained. Because I think nothing is wasted and everything is watered. There's no moment that's not intentional. So every moment that you're in front of anybody, whether it's in an Uber, whether it's talking to the lady on Delta trying to change your flight, or whether it's on a stage.
All the time.
Or whether it's on a stage, I think your purpose is intended in real time. You don't have to wait for your career or your job to exert your purpose. It's happening now. It's happening every time you're anywhere. So that's why it's a blessing to know that I'm light. And I think for me, wellness is that clarity. It's that awareness that, you know, in order to be clear, you have to have accepted and surrendered so much. And then that clarity then allows you to see what's right in front of you, and you become so grateful. You know, I fall on my face and I'm just like, thank you, God, you know? Just to be so present to know, present of mind, to know that I'm sitting here in front of this audience, having this conversation, contributing my gifts on assignment with these amazing women and this amazing audience. Like this was all ordained and designed. So it's my job to just be, right? And in order to be, I have to be clear enough to be aware, to be present enough to know what's in front of me. I can't be in the future where anxiety lives or the past where depression resides. I got to be right here because everything that I desire and need is right here in front of me right now.
Yeah, so good. And so I'm going to give it up.
Yes.
Yeah. We family. I'm going to challenge each of us, you know, as we're having this conversation to illuminate even for yourself, who are you, right? Because this was really powerful what Shelah and Enitan shared about the idea of not betraying yourself. And so when we're crystal clear about whether or not we're light or we're conduits or what we're meant to do in this world and how we're meant to show up, our wellness starts and begins there. And then we're able to share it with one another, right? And be intentional about how we share that. So, and yeah, let's talk about this. I started Morning Mindset with Tai, you know, not with any real intention of my own. It was really God just really calling me to do it. And now this movement has been created globally around supporting women to affirm, move, connect, and then reset. And it started with my morning routine of prayer, meditation, devotion, and hiking in Los Angeles, which I'm obsessed with. But what is your morning routine, and why is that so critical to you for your wellness?
I did it this morning. I mean, I went to the gym. Before I do anything, I don't touch my phone. I'm praying. First thing I do is pray. Then I read my daily devotional. Then I read the Word. And then I'll go to the gym to just kind of get out whatever's still in there and clear my mind and prepare for the day. That's the start of it. If I don't do that, the day goes, I can feel that I didn't do that. There's something off. There's something wrong. So it's setting my intentions, because I feel like not doing that is the equivalent to getting into a car, stepping on the gas, as soon as you wake up with no seatbelt on and just going into the world and allowing all the residue of yesterday and the craziness that's on the TV and the news to just come right in. So I try to set my intentions so that I'm walking into the day with an understanding of who I am and what I'm called to do.
How many of you have, ooh, I like that.
That's a good, yeah.
How many of you have morning routines? Most of you, yeah, that's good to see. How many of you as couples or in partnership have routines that you do together?
I would love to do
Not
that.
yet. Okay. But look, somebody said it's about to happen. Right. Sheila, how about you? How do why start with wellness?
Okay.
And what is that process like for you?
Yes, I'll give you like an A student version and a C student version, because
I'd be on the spectrum too.
You know what I mean? Because I work in the wellness space exclusively with women, mostly with Black women, and long morning routines just are not feasible for a lot of women. A lot of women are already like, I'm already getting people fighting. They didn't like the cereal that they loved every day, and now they don't like the cereal no more. And then my husband said this thing, and then like women are already like, I already have, sometimes it feels like I didn't want wellness to feel like another thing on your to-do list. So I'll give you the A student. Y'all want the A or the C student first?
Let's start with C.
C student?
Wait,
okay.
Let's start with C first.
Okay, because C student is still passing.
No,
you getting the grade.
Listen, present, you went to class.
C students still went on to do great things in life, right? Okay, so literally do not look at my phone for 15 minutes after getting up. Just that. That's it. That's C student routine. I am a scroller. Like, my husband be like all the time, like, girl, you put the phone, I'm like, but hold on, something's happening. I love social media. That's where I run my business. Sometimes work and play are conflated, like in my phone. So, but I just find that if I immediately allow myself, and I just be looking for, I be like, oh, let me see what's going on. I be nosy. So, inquisitive.
Curious.
I'm curious. And so if I the first 15 minutes, I don't look at my phone, do whatever you normally do anyway, I just find that I'm more situated within myself throughout the day. Whereas it's like my energy can go inward versus if I wake up first thing and scroll, my energy's outward. Oh my gosh, look at all these things happening, right? And then you get into the whole comparison thing, or you might see something that triggers a thought within you, and now you're like out of your body. That's C student. A student is, I'm not looking at my phone the first 15 minutes, and I like to do fasted cardio for, if I'm like at my best self, 30 minutes, whatever that looks like. I love these little I do like step classes. I like do like the virtual ones. I watch the videos and I just learn my little like Zumba. Like that's my thing, I love it. I just go in my room, I do that, and then I finish with breath work or meditation. I always advocate for meditation, but meditation is not, I wouldn't say it's a blanket thing that's great for everybody, especially if you have a history with trauma, a history with anxiety, depression. Sometimes meditation can let you to ruminate and just think in your own thoughts, and then it's like, you're on your hamster wheel. So I love breath work, and I definitely offer that up as a morning thing, because breath work gets you out of your body, out of your head and into your body. And breath work is, I go on YouTube, you can find breath work exercises. There's a lot of practitioners of color now, shout out to that.
Absolutely.
And so, yeah, that's what I would tell you.
Yeah, breathwork saved lives.
No,
right?
Saved my life in 2020.
The power of breath is so important because, one, it's one of God's greatest gifts, right?
Yeah.
Simply, right, to have breath. But we take it for granted too. And so we forget that we're actually breathing. So when you're called back to the breath, you're reminded, right, of the power, right, and the joy and the beauty.
And you can't worry. You can't think
it's
about
just like it's here. But there was something that you both said that I want to touch on that I think is really important that we recognize, that wellness is, again, it's not blanket. There's emotional wellness, there's physical wellness, there's spiritual wellness, there's environmental wellness, there's communal wellness, there's seven intellectual wellness, environmental wellness, so there are 7 forms, and we have to realize, like similar when we talk about the love languages, right? So people, when you start seeing somebody, you're like, what's your love language? Because you like, if it's too much words of affirmation, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do it right now. But with wellness, you have to know what are your top wellness languages and what are your needs, right? So I know for me, it's highly environmental. And it's highly spiritual. And then it's physical for me, right? And so I know I have to hit those touch points in order to feel well. So we have to check in and understand what our wellness solutions are and what we need from a wellness standpoint. So I love how you said, you don't want to be triggered in certain ways. You know that you have to move. You know you have to go to the gym to get it out, Enitan. So that's really, really good. So in the work that both of you do, you build community. And you recognize the importance of what it means to take a village. You've dedicated your life, both what you do professionally and obviously how you show up in the world, to helping and supporting others feel well. What encouraged you to do this? And let's talk a little bit about what you both do, because obviously there might be opportunities for this incredible audience to connect with you.
So, what inspired me to do it is not my own.
Let's talk about what you do too.
So I'm a creative director and artist, a 3-time best-selling author. I have the largest.
Yeah.
Come on, receipts.
That's an A student.
He give
an A+ student.
Yeah.
I wasn't an A student in college, but and I have the largest platform to shop and discover Black and brown brands, St. Miles. And what led me to all of these things is ever since I was a child, I felt something like a thing in me that was different. Like I almost had like this understanding of, it's almost like the vision. It's hard to explain. I could feel the vision, sometimes see little pockets of it, but it didn't make sense. So I wouldn't share it with my family. I'd be like, okay, I can't sing. I can't do what the people on TV do, but there's something there that I can't quite define. So I just followed that all of my life. Like I've always followed that thing. I didn't know where it was gonna go, and it led me first when I got out of college to my first book that I didn't want to write. I didn't have a desire to write. I never wanted to be a writer. It was me literally following these breadcrumbs and like trusting that thing in me. So it's led me and guided me this entire time through all of these different ventures and possibilities. And it's exciting because I don't know where it's gonna go next. Like how do I have this platform to, like, I don't know. I just followed the path. Like there is no answer other than God has led me to where I am. So like I understand the assignment, as they say, right? And I'm on it all the time, every day, and that's the cost. Sometimes it's cute. Sometimes it's joy, sometimes it's pain. Usually it's both. And you have to reconcile, as we were speaking earlier, with like, who are you gonna decide you are in those moments? What are you gonna receive? Joy and pain is always happening, but what are you receiving? Grace and abundance and love is always there, but what are you receiving? It's always available. Every time you wake up, there's mercy, there's grace. Just pick up and just take what you need and wear it, because we decide on other things. We allow external circumstances to we internalize those, and we decide that that's who we are. And that's what we're gonna wear, and that's how we're gonna show up. That's why the morning routines are important, because they allow you to affirm and decide who you are.
What you said about following the breadcrumbs, and it's interesting because we're going back to this idea of purpose and what is rooted and spirited in us from the beginning, and that's really the track to wellness. And obviously wellness means something different to everyone, but it's answering the call. And answering the call that is within you is when you feel well. That's when you feel whole. And I have this burning passion, like leaving magazines and starting a media company and hosting TV and producing TV, now having a fragrance brand. I just feel this call on my life to make sure that Black women feel well. Because I looked at my mom feel unwell for so long. Because I saw that my grandmother showed up as if she was well, but didn't know all of the pain that she was dealing with and couldn't be whole and well. And that call within you is calling you to wellness. That's calling you to wholeness, because that's where God wants to center us. I love a gentleman too.
No, that's right.
Let me do it again. Go ahead. Sorry. I'm sorry, because look, I reached too fast. Thank you, Enitan. Thank you. Thank you, baby. Thank you.
You got it.
Thank you, brother. Sheila.
I love it.
I'm a nut. And I've only had 3 hours of sleep too. Shelah, how about you? What about wellness and creating the village that you've created and the community that you created? So let's talk about the community and how you find wellness in that and how you bridge the gap into wellness.
Okay, so again, I'm Shelah, and I'm CEO and founder of Curvy Curly Conscious. Say that 3 times fast.
Curvy,
curly, conscious, and it's not physical; it's a state of mind.
Oh, I love it.
So, thank you.
I love that y'all talking to us.
Yeah, I love it.
It's
I love calling
Come on,
response.
cousin.
I know. It's like, let me know you're here. And so basically we produce retreats we started out producing retreats for women of color. And then over time, things that were happening outside, like in the world, a lot of the black women in my community were like, I wish we could have a safe space that would be just black women, because sometimes I don't feel comfortable expressing myself, or I don't want to be minimized. You know, you don't want someone to say, are you sure that happened? Or, oh, I don't see it like that. That doesn't happen to me. Like, can there be a space where I get a break from all that? And I was like, absolutely. So now we have other retreats, but the main retreat that I'm known for is the Unruly Retreat, and that is a safe space for black women. And it's our particular brand of wellness, which is a little bit of like namaste and then a little bit of turn up, because I think black women are very much conditioned to work, and I wanted to like move away from positioning growth and healing as another thing you have to do to work. All right, get your notepad out, let's go, we're gonna go to work. Like, I kind of wondered, well, where's the joy? Like, where's the fun? What if we already did the work and this is where we just reap the benefits? Like, what if? Like, you know, so we have a lot of fun, we party, we have a good time, we still meditate, we do yoga, we have workshops around sexual wellness and et cetera. So that's really my main thing that I do. And in terms of, you both said something that I wanted to finish my my answer with around wellness, is that you said that black women sometimes are struggling by themselves with wellness, and Enitan, you mentioned how these outside things can affect us, and I feel like that's at the core of what I do, is that we're all affected by these outside structures, but we're dealing with it all by ourselves. And I feel like one of my favorite metaphors for this is in Sister Citizen, is a book by Melissa V. Harris Perry, and she opens the book yes, right? So good. She opens the book talking about the crooked room. And she references, do you know this? Yeah. Is it, you are? Yes. Okay, great. I see some people nodding. So she references this study where participants were put into a room that had a crooked floor and a crooked chair. And their instruction was just sit up straight, like align yourself straight. And 35% of the participants were angled like at more than 20 degrees and would report that they're straight, because they have aligned themselves to the crooked room. And I think for a lot of us, it's that we always think there's something innately wrong with us. I'm just not doing capitalism right. You know, I'm just not doing these interpersonal relationships right. I'm not doing marriage right. And it's like you're trying to align yourself to a crooked room. And just remind ourselves that it's just, even just having the awareness that you're in the room, now you know, oh, that's why I'm walking slanted. Okay, and I feel like just that, right? I felt like sometimes it relieves some of the pressure that it's not, we all are on our individual journeys, but I do think individualism has reached a tipping point, like to a fault. We're losing our community, we're losing our village, because we have all this pressure to go make our own house and our own family with our own picket fence and our own thing and our own millions, and I'm taking it, right, I'm a CEO, see me, right? It's all that, which is not bad in itself, but I want us to just be reminded that we all are in the crooked room together.
Wow.
Let's give it up. Let's give it
Shout
up.
out to her for writing that.
So that's a bar, and you know, that's a real bar about how we show up in spaces, you know, collectively, but even with our own stuff, right?
Yeah.
And so when we show up into these spaces and we're trying to align and we misalign to things that aren't even really for us ultimately. And so I think it's really important that, especially as Black people, right now more than ever, that we get clear about who we are, what is for us, how we show up in those spaces, not trying to align or to adapt to those spaces, but to redesign the room.
Come on.
Yes.
Because we have that power. Yes. And that's why it's so, I'm literally so full right now, and for each of you and for each of us, but for my sister and brother Tommy and Cody for what they're doing, because this is helping us to reimagine and redesign the room of love for ourselves, for our families, and for our communities, and for our villages. I think I am at time. I am not sure. Oh, I can keep going? How much time I got? 5 more minutes. Actually, with that being said, is there anything that you all want to share specifically around wellness? If not, then I'm going to go off script. Cody knows I do this. And ask and take a question or two from the audience, unless there's something that you all want to share. Is there 1 or 2 people that have a question for Enitan, Shelah, or myself? Hey, brother, what's up? How you doing?
What's up, brother?
Wait, I'm going to come down and
I got it.
oh, there's a mic here. Come on and stand up. Thank you. Because this is also how we create meaningful space, too. When it's not just this panel sharing, it's us hearing from one another, because we all have something to share and add, as well as learn. Thank you. The mic is coming right there. Thank you.
Hello.
Hi.
How you doing?
We good. How you doing?
All is well. Thank
Amen.
you. So while we on wellness, we know wellness is broad and there's several components to wellness. But I want to focus on mental health wellness right now. Right now, I just had a question. How do you chase your goals and your dreams and your ambitions without sacrificing your self-care? Us as Black people, we tend to subscribe to, you don't gotta sleep, you hustle and you do this and you do that, and I sleep when I die, and it's like, no, you do need to sleep, and and the only people that's telling me to sleep is my wife, my therapist, and my doctor.
That's right.
Even motivational speakers and different influencers that's currently like on Instagram, it's like, well, you gotta hustle and you gotta do this and you gotta do that, and I'm
Hustle culture will kill you.
Yeah.
And I think, and I'm sure I'll let them answer. And thank you, brother. Was that your question?
Yeah. So that's
Okay,
my
perfect.
question.
Thank
Like,
you. And what's your name?
Darrell, and we from Baltimore.
I know you're from Baltimore. I heard it.
I heard
How do
you?
Yeah, I heard that.
Thank you. Hustle culture will kill you.
Yeah.
And I started out by saying that I created Morning Mindset with Tai. I started Brown Girl Jane, which is my fragrance company. Thank you. You a fan? Thank you so much, Frey. But after burnout, and I think that we have to really kind of shift the conversation from the hustle to live.
Yeah.
It has to go from hustle to live. And, the hustle mindset is something that we inherited from our parents and our grandparents because they had to, and from their parents because of the legacy of enslavement, in the history of what we were brought into, where we had to move a certain way. But what I said about redesigning the room, we are in a critical standpoint right now, people. I'm talking about globally, but for real, for Black people, we are in a critical standpoint that if we don't get back to nurturing the inside first, if we don't nurture what's going on the inside, and I'm not talking first with your mind, I'm talking first with your spirit. It starts with our spirit. And this is not about what you believe in theology, but it starts with the spirit. And what we nurture spiritually is then what is going to be born and made manifest in the world. So hustle culture, I tell young people to slow down. When I became beauty director at 25, I didn't know, that it wasn't cool to work 16 hours a day. I was out to prove something. I'm out to live something now. I'm out to impact something. What about you all?
I would say that when it comes to, can you say the part of his question again?
It was about how do we get away from the hustle culture
without sacrificing
without
yourself.
sacrificing
That's what it
yourself.
was. Okay, so I think especially for melanated people, especially for Black Americans, it is supremely important to investigate our relationship between labor and self-worth. A lot of times we are only valued by what we can produce. Look at what I can make, look at what I can do, and I don't think that's innately bad because look at what we can create.
Right.
Absolutely. But your sense of self shouldn't be wrapped in it. Like, you're still worthy, especially men, bro. Like, you're still worthy, regardless of if you're having a bad month financially, or you can't keep up with whatever images we're seeing on social media. Women, we're still worthy at the house, whatever it is, and gender roles are fluid, whatever works. But all I'm saying is, like, if our sense of self is so tied into our work, what we can produce, what we can achieve, then we're always gonna be hustling.
This is true. So good. So
7
good.
words. Don't chase your dreams, align your destiny. You don't have to chase what's already yours. In 2020, I sat back and I was like, wow, I'm not doing anything, but I'm receiving so much. I guess I'm this law of reciprocity and sowing and reaping. I get it. Yeah. I don't have to move. I don't have to sweat. Like, this is grace. Who am I to do something for what God has blessed me with? There's no way that I've earned any of this, right? I can't work my way for that, right? So the little measly gifts we get on this side on earth, like, enjoy the fruits of your labor. I'm not, discounting that, but there's something that's much greater. And to your point, there is a call currently for leaders to step into their position. If you didn't get the memo in 2020, I'm telling you now, before another disaster hits, you got to get your thing together. The thing that you already know is true, you just got to move in it. All of the grace and all that stuff's going to come, the abundance, the provision. You don't got to worry about how it's going to get to you. We don't know what the next 5 minutes is going to offer us, let alone tomorrow. So just be here, be on assignment, move with conviction. You know what you feel. Honor your body when it's tired. Rest, because generations beyond us need what we are doing now. They need to know that that's inside of them. Stay in the present, my brother. So don't chase your dreams, align your destiny.
Let's give it up for Enitan. Let's give it up for Shelah. I'm Tai Beauchamp. Enjoy the rest of your time here at Black Love. Thank you.
Yes.